Has the school ever failed your children? When my daughter started high school, she couldn't stop smiling. She picked out her outfits the night before, packed her own lunches, and made me promise to drop her off 2 blocks from the front so she wouldn't look like a baby. I thought it was going to be a great year for her. For a while, it was. Then, gradually, she changed. Her bright morning energy started to fade. She'd walk in after school, her shoulders tense, and her eyes locked on the floor. She started spending more time in her room. I'd ask how her day was, and she'd just say fine before shutting her door. One night, I went to do laundry and found her holding a crumpled up essay, her face red and blotchy. She didn't hear me come in. I asked what happened, and she only held out the paper. The words were written at the top in red ink. This is pathetic. Did you even try? Her English teacher, Mr. Reynolds, had a reputation for being old school, balding, always in a wrinkled shirt and tie, and known for giving out the lowest grades in the department. But I hadn't realized just how far he took it. He'd call her out every chance he got. If she hesitated while reading, he'd mock her voice. He called her Miss Mute in front of the class and said her essays read like Google Translate vomit. She started waking up with stomach aches. She asked to stay home at least once a week. I sent an email to the school, explaining everything. The vice principal said something vague about how they would monitor the situation. Nothing changed, so I scheduled a meeting and went down there myself. I sat across from the vice principal and told her, calmly but directly, what was going on. I explained how my daughter had started shutting down. I read aloud the comments the teacher wrote on her paper. She gave me this rehearsed, polished smile and said, Mr. Reynolds is a respected educator. Sometimes students can be sensitive to feedback. That's when I knew I had to handle this myself. I bought my daughter a small audio recorder resembling a panda keychain. I told her to clip it on her backpack and start recording during every English class. She looked nervous at first, but after another week of school left her crying into her pillow, she agreed. We listened together. Her hands shook. There was no guessing or interpreting what he meant. Mr. Reynolds said, if you don't want to participate, maybe you should be in the special ed class. He laughed when she mispronounced a word. He even said once, I don't know how your parents raised you, but you act like you've never read a book in your life. I didn't send the recordings to the school. I uploaded the clearest ones to a local Facebook parent group. I included captions, dates, and context. I tagged members of the school board. I sent links to every teacher I could find listed on the district site. Within hours, it exploded. Other parents started commenting. Some recognized their own children's voices. One mother messaged me privately saying her son had been afraid of speaking up for months. The next day, the district posted a short statement saying they were reviewing the situation, but the story had already spread too far. A local news station reached out asking for an interview. The school board called an emergency meeting the following week. I stood at the podium with my daughter sitting in the front row. I played a short clip where Mr. Reynolds told her she brought the entire class down. You could hear him chuckle at his own joke in the background. I looked out at the room. Most people weren't looking at me. They were staring at her. I said, you let this happen. You ignored the warnings. You didn't believe her because she was quiet, because she didn't scream, because she was polite. They didn't say much back. But a few days later, I got an email. Mr. Reynolds had been placed on administrative leave pending further investigation. By the end of the month, he was gone. Officially retired. My daughter didn't celebrate, but she started reading again. She stopped asking to stay home. She joined the drama club a few weeks later, something she'd always been too nervous to try.